Good evening, everyone, from the Banta Bowl on the campus of Lawrence University here in Appleton. It's time for high school football. Tonight, the crosstown rivalry between the Terrors of Appleton West High School and the Patriots of Appleton East. Here on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream, Dick Napinski joining you this evening. Good evening, everyone. Zach Morris, Gary Brulowski with us. And Zach, a weird night so far between the Terrors and the Patriots, being that we've had a lightning delay. We're starting a little bit late tonight, and we're still waiting for the Patriots to come onto the field.
Yeah, I mean, that's the strange feeling that we're still waiting to see them on the field. I'm not sure what the issue is, but it's going to be a great game, especially the East-West rivalry, where it's strange that, like you mentioned this earlier off the air, Dick, the fact that it's a non-conference game.
This is probably the first time in these schools' history that they're actually playing a game that does not count in conference standings. The reason for that, Appleton West is in the Valley Football Association pod this year, as far as the WIA is concerned. And meanwhile, the Appleton East Patriots in the FBA pod with Kimberly and Nina and the teams you traditionally think as the FBA. The Terrors and Hortonville are over with Stevens Point, DC Everest, and so forth. And there the Patriots have appeared on the field. So, again, a little bit weird. We were delayed starting at about 6:15 when the lightning came through here and made things a little bit interesting and pushed the start time back on this game, Zach. But big win for Appleton West last Friday or last week. Meanwhile, Appleton East, tough loss to Hortonville. Their size, they kind of got worn down by the Polar Bears a little bit, and they're going to have to rely on finesse in that line to start breaking things open for them.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you look at. I mean, if you're a smaller team going against a physical team that they did in the Polar Bears, you're going to have some issues. There was no doubt about it. And it's still week one of the year. You're far from it. You can still win with having not the big size, but it still takes game action. And granted, you are going from spring. There could be some little layover, but it now feels normal for most players now going into week two. Yeah, if you played in spring, yeah, it was kind of strange. It was a few months off and you're back at it, but this makes it a lot easier now that you're back in your normal routine.
And football coaches will tell you the biggest improvement of any team is between the first and second game, because you finally get that videotape you can break down, start to go to your huddle account and start breaking down the game tape and taking a look what needs to be improved and showing the kids that as well.
Correct, and that's going to be huge too. There's so much you were prepared for during training camp, but the big improvement, as you mentioned, the second you finally get to play an actual game, you do find your weaknesses and you try to improve on them.
Yeah, an interesting thing tonight too, this is a crosstown rival, of course, for more than 50 years, but for the first time they're playing for a trophy. It's called Nicolay's Anchor, and it's something introduced this year. There's a story behind it. We'll give you a quick little rundown of that during the game here. But right now, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll be right back with the start of this one between Appleton East, Appleton West, here on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
I'm Adam Landsver, and I am the Chief Lending Officer at Fox Communities Credit Union. For those that have a mortgage, it's important to review it very frequently. It's at minimum annually. Many of our members have taken the opportunity to cash out some money to put in that backyard pool that you've been seeing down the road, or consolidate debt, or pay off your loan faster to match your retirement. That's why we're here to help, right? We're here to help them succeed financially. End of story.
Fox Communities Credit Union.
The projects we construct afford us the opportunity to help those in need in more ways than one. And the momentum we create as a team allows us to make an impact greater than any one of us can achieve on our own. We are part of the community. We are where we live. We are Myron Construction.
Wisconsin Savings Bank.
Back at the Banta Bowl, just getting ready for the start. Appleton East Patriots and the Appleton West Terrors. Coin flip going on right at this moment. We'd like to thank our sponsors that make these broadcasts possible: Fox Communities Credit Union, Myron Construction, and East Wisconsin Savings Bank. Thanks so much. They're supporters of high school athletics, and we are glad that you are too, joining us along this video stream tonight. As we mentioned, Appleton West coming in at 1-0. They defeated Manitowoc 14-12 on a Thursday night opener a week ago. Meanwhile, Appleton East gave a gutty performance against a much bigger Hortonville team, ended up falling in that one 17-7 last week. And some things to work on, especially in the passing game, trying to get protection for the quarterback out there for Appleton East. Because Aaron Jones was running a lot, took a lot of sacks last week as he was trying to get things going. And prior to tonight's game, we're going to have coming up next, we'll have the national anthem here at the Banta Bowl with the color guard. And as we head to that, we're going to take a break here and be ready for the start of this game on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
My name is Mike Pastorelli, and I am the auto buying specialist for Fox Communities Credit Union. I just really enjoy helping people and make sure that they get the best bang for their dollar when they're walking to a car lot. I've met members at car dealerships and helped them sit down with the salesperson, whatever you need me to do. It's exciting. Buying a new car, getting it home for the first time. They know that they got the most car for the monthly payment that they wanted to spend. We help make life happen.
Fox Communities Credit Union.
A century is made up of minutes, but more importantly, of moments. Moments of hard work, dedication, challenges, and triumphs. From Myron Construction, the past 100 years were built by the steady hands of tradespeople who laid a strong foundation, and continues to thrive because of our passionate team members. As we close this significant chapter of our history, our sights are set on what we will accomplish together in the years to come, because together we'll continue building excellence.
As our students become young adults and follow their own unique paths, they all still have one thing in common: the need for banking to keep up with the pace of their lives. Our online account opening and integrated mobile services are designed with that in mind. And a $200 bonus for opening a qualifying new checking account makes East Wisconsin Savings Bank perfect for the next step in life.
East Wisconsin Savings Bank.
Back at the Banta Bowl, about set to start here as the color guard departs the field after our national anthem. Taking a look at this, first of all, breaking down these teams a bit, Zach. Let's talk about Appleton East first. Lost to Hortonville last week, looking to find some answers. Defensively, pretty stout against the Polar Bears. Offensively, they have to figure some things out.
Yeah, I mean, it's game one, and you knew that size was going to be an issue, but you look ahead for the Patriots, who do have Fond du Lac, another physical team, and a little further down you will have Kimberly. But you learn so much, as you mentioned, from going game one to game two, and it takes game action to, improve, and that's what it comes down to. It's hard to explain, but you see teams move as the season goes on.
Yeah, and that's a tough stretch, too. Fond du Lac, Oshkosh at Oshkosh West, and at Kimberly, and then home against Appleton North. Boy, that's a tough 4 weeks for the Patriots, so they have to get some things figured out pretty quickly here. Meanwhile, for Appleton West, a good performance. They certainly found themselves a running back. And Ben Vilafsky, a big week, 142 yards against Manitowoc, and a first-team all-conference player last year in the spring session. Something that the Terrors can build upon.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a team that, since Mitch Johnson has arrived for the Terrors, that it struggled early on with the regime change and new players coming in. But during spring football, you started to see a little groove being made in this team. And it's finally with experience, and you have players settling in, learning the philosophy, and just buying in. And that's what happens when you have a coaching change. It takes a while to get that rebuild. And I think you're starting to see a turn with these Terrors, and you'll see it tonight. And it was a close game, and they held on to win that against Manitowoc Lincoln, a team that they normally don't see unless it's a playoff matchup.
Exactly. It's odd this year, of course, the WIA putting teams into the 8-team pods in lieu of conferences, trying to keep geographic as much as you can, but we alluded a little bit earlier, Appleton West playing mostly almost as a Wisconsin Valley school this year, and so finding non-conference games you're seeing all over the place. Manitowoc involved in this, This is a non-conference game. Oshkosh West is playing Verona tonight, and so you're just trying to find people before you head into conference play next week for the final 7 weeks of the season.
And that's why you look at that schedule. It looks odd. It's like, where are all the local teams? I just see Appleton, East, and Hortonville. Well, that's just how it is.
Yeah, interesting one tonight, though. You get Neenah and Menasha playing each other again tonight in non-conference play.
How things have played out this year it's a learning experience.
Yeah, we see the Patriots taking the center of the field here at the Banta Bowl. Patriots in their white jerseys, red pants tonight. Appleton West in the blue jerseys with the black numbers, the nightmare for broadcasters as they come in with the dark numbers, but we'll keep track of them as they come through. And the Terrors, the one thing Terrors don't have, they don't have an especially deep squad. They don't have a lot of bodies out there, so you're going to have to rely on the starters. And if you're coming into as a sub, you're going to see a lot of minutes.
And that's the big thing, too, is you always need to pay attention to play. And that's where coaches always preach, if you're a bench player, you have to be ready. Well, when you have a team like West has, you have to be able to be ready to go any moment.
And we told you a little bit earlier about Nicolet's anchor. Now, this is a trophy being played between these two teams. It's for Jean Nicolet, who was one of the early explorers, the French explorer that came down the Fox River back in the 1600s. They said, well, they were traveling, trying to get to the Mississippi, finding that route to China. Legend has it the journey was made more difficult because the largest boat of Nicolet's lost its anchor. Well, years later, they found an anchor in the Fox River. Was it Jean Nicolet's anchor? We don't know. But whatever it is, which side of the river did he set foot on, the east side or the west side? Who has the bragging rights? Well, we'll find out who wins the anchor tonight and who has the bragging rights between the Patriots and the Terrors this evening. East will be kicking off. They'll be kicking off to the north, and that will be Brian Bedola doing the kicking. Going back, Ben Velasky is back there, standing around the 10-yard line. We're set to go. Glad you could join us on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream this evening. Kick is up, be coming down around the 15-yard line, gathered in there at the 19, taking a quick step up and being dragged down in a hurry for West is Chris Meyer, the junior, brought down. And so at about the 27-yard line is where the Terrors will start. We have an Appleton East player down. That looks like Aaron Kohlberg. And you wonder if it's a cramp tonight. You know, these teams warmed up, and then you had the lightning delay, and then you came back out, and East was late getting onto the field, really didn't have a chance to loosen up all that much, and so trainers are out and taking a look at that right now. And Aaron is sitting up and in a situation that they've got a couple teammates coming out, and that's not good because for Appleton East, he's one of their leading tacklers as well. He had 9 tackles last week against Hortonville, so you do not want to lose him on the opening kickoff of the game. And again, there was a pile around that 27 on the tackle, and now they're helping Kohlberg to his feet. And he's not putting any weight at all on that left leg. And you do not like to see that the very first play, Zach.
No, that's just a tough injury. You wait so long for the game with the delays you mentioned and warm-ups and everything else. You just hope that this is something that could just maybe stretch out, figure out what the problem is, and hopefully it doesn't linger too much. But because when you mention a player that he brings for the Patriots, you want to have him back.
Well, he's a starting linebacker for the Patriots, and so there's some size there. He's 5'11", 190 pounds. Again, leading tackler for the Patriots. He's walking a little bit on that leg now. That's good to see. So hopefully it's just one of those things you got turned around. So let's go back. Jack Hammes, the quarterback. And the pistol formation for the Terrors. He's got Ben Velasky behind him. Velasky will get the handoff, take a quick look inside, knocked down around the 30-yard line, stormed over by a pile of Patriots there. Gain of about 3 yards on the play, trying the right side. Getting off on the bottom of the pile, see Josh Parks. Also Tyler Byrne, we're going to call his name a lot tonight, defensive end, 6'5", 235-pound senior. Wearing number 5 for the Patriots. Brings up second, let's call it 7. Hamas has 3 receivers off to the right side, 1 to the left, or to the right, 3 to the left. And off Velasquez. No, the Hamas is going to take it straight ahead. He's got some running room across the 35 out to about the 41-yard line before he's finally tripped up. Tay Derrico brings him down, but a first down for the Terrors and a nice hole right up the middle for West.
Yeah, it was a great job and a great option, realizing that the whole Patriot defense was looking on the running back, and he just knew the best decision to do was just be able to run up the middle and got a first down. And those little trickery things is probably what's going to help this West offense, knowing that you have the Patriots that want to make up for the running game last week and be able to have a good, stellar performance tonight.
Terrors all looking at their wristbands on the play being called. Hamas setting up once again. 2 receivers off to the right side. Hamas, quick little flare, goes out to Velasquez, escapes 1 tackle around the 40, steps inside across the 45, out to the 48-yard line. Nice running before he's finally brought down by Brandon Dodge. Or excuse me, he's brought down out there by Tyler Mattel. And these teams both have players that will play both offense and defense tonight, and so that we'll see what the fatigue factor comes in early. But again, East, not a big team size-wise. You've got some guys who would normally on high school teams be linebackers. They're playing up in the line, which means guys who are safeties end up playing in the linebacker position. And now with Aaron Kohlberg out of the game right now, Hamas takes it. They'll hand off straight ahead. Velasquez gets it, trying to pile forward. You see Byrne runs him down. Also coming off the bottom of that pile, Caleb Gray, the sophomore, 6'5", 196. They're very high on him, the things he could do. He's rangy. They know they can put some weight on him in the coming years. Good guy to have at defensive end.
Well, it's great to have your edge rushers being able to slash right towards the middle of the line to stop that run and make a tough 3rd and inches here.
Yep, 3rd and less than a yard right at midfield. Scooping up is the center, Jet Tepler. Hamas taking a look. See if they run off the option. He'll take it himself. He's going to be met behind the line and piled down. The defense is there. Jay McGolden in on the stop, also getting off the bottom of that pile. We see Charlie Wendland in there. Good flow to the football that time from the Patriots defense. And it's going to be a 4th down. Looks like Terrors are going to go for it here with 8:53 left in the first quarter.
Well, that last play for the Patriots was a great job reading the option, knowing that he did not have his running back, and nor did he have a chance to actually get the first down himself. So great job. Can they hold again on 4th?
4th and a yard and a half. Just outside the 50-yard line. Hamas getting set for the snap. Gets it. Handoff goes straight ahead. Velasquez with a hole. He's got the first down and more into Patriot territory at the 44. Finally dragged down by Sam Austin. Austin, another sophomore for the Patriots, wearing number 4, but a first down for the Terrors.
Well, when you have a power running back like him, you just have to go to him, and they learn right there, a big gain there.
Hamas drops back, takes a look, looking for under pressure, escapes 1 man, now rolling out to his left, flinging it downfield, and it's going to be picked off at the 20-yard line. With that is Mattel. Mattel gets out to the 33, bashes against 1 guy, still on his feet, finally forced out of bounds.
Mattel did not want to go down on that.
Oh,
hit.
you saw Peyton Stadler lower his shoulder. He was going to give a big hit and just bounced off. Mattel bounced off him.
Well, a weakness in the game for Hamas, it was the 2 interceptions last week, and the running game is working well for the Terrors, but still trying to get that passing game where they want it, but that was just a heave of a throw because he ran to the left, and they get too much time. That was the issue, too. He knew that I can just heave it up, but just too many people in that area.
Yeah, getting the shoulder square, running left, trying to throw with your right arm. That's a tough way to do things. So set we go with the Appleton East offense for the first time. Now we see Chase Nelson in at quarterback, the junior. He's going to take it himself, turn the corner, he's got some running room past the 40 to 50, on the move, down to the 40, 30-yard line. It's a foot race right now, tries to get downfield and finally pushed down. The turf monster got him about the 15-yard line and was shoved down by Mason Rake. all the way at the 5-yard line. So Chase Nelson starting at quarterback tonight gets the first run, and it's a big one.
Probably not what the Terrors were expecting, especially on defense. And Nelson doing a great job just trying to get past that last defender. Lost his footing, almost would have broke off. But a great job to set up a great situation for the Patriots inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, we look across the way there. Aaron Jones is in street clothes. He's wearing shorts along the way, does not have his helmet on. So obviously a little dinged up there, did not play. So Nelson getting the start, and boy, what a run he had. First and goal just outside the 5-yard line. Nelson up under center, man in motion. Quick handoff goes straight ahead and into the end zone for a touchdown is Jamek Golden. Golden just sliding off the left side of the center, slashing in with 7:37 left here in this first quarter. Appleton East scores first.
Went with the closer running back, and it looks so easy. Great job by the line getting out in front to create that easy running lane.
And boy, for the Patriots, that's a big boost of confidence. They had trouble moving offensively last week. Badola in to try the extra point kick. That one is up, and it's good. And it's a 7-0 lead for the Appleton East Patriots. And we're going to take a break here on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
I'm Julia Clemmy. I'm a member relationship officer. When it comes to auto loans, I like to explain to the members how the process works so that they understand how to do electronic signing, how they're going to pick up the check, where the deposit is going to come from. I can put it into slower gear for a first-time borrower, put it into overdrive for a borrower that's borrowed many times, and they can have a check within the hour. We help make life happen.
Fox Communities Credit Union.
Seven 0 Patriots grabbing a quick lead. All of 2 plays to score a touchdown after the interception. Dick Lipinski, Zach Morris with you tonight at the Banta Bowl here at Lawrence University. Vikings of Lawrence start their season next weekend against Finlandia. Short kickoff by Badola coming down, and it finally goes out of bounds. A little dangerous there for Chris Myers. He watched it, and it kind of hopped around a little bit before edging out of bounds. And that will bring football out to the 35-yard line where the Terrors will start it. They had some things going with the running game and then tried to pass, and things turned badly very quickly for the Terrors.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. You look for the Terrors. Can they find another way to be successful on that running attack? And I think they will on this drive. You're going to see they had some success, a big first down run, and this is the formula you want, even though it did end with an interception.
So Jack Hammis set this go once again. Ben Valesky, the running back behind him. On the clap, Valesky gets it straight ahead. Big hole up the middle. He's past the 40, out to about the 41-yard line before he's dragged down by Caleb Gray. Gain of almost 6 yards. Make it a 2nd and 4 with 7:21 left in this opening quarter. Hammis, again, Valesky getting the call, tries to stutter step, does so, has the first down out toward midfield, finally dragged down by Derrico in Patriot territory. Well, it looks like the Terrors have learned their lesson a little bit there, Zach. Say, let's go to the bell cow.
Well, you look at the last drive, what was successful, and that was running the quarterback option and especially running with Valesky. So if you had an issue with the passing attack, you felt safe that, hey, we get back in this game. We have the running attack. There's no reason to panic, even with the interception leading to a quick touchdown.
Hammis gets the call, sending Rake out to the near left side. Matthew Vanderputten far out to the left. Mikhail Harrison to the right side. Handoff goes to Valesky. This time the Patriots are ready for him. Snowed under by a host of Patriots. Guy at the bottom who grabbed the ankle for the first time was Danny Jacquez. Loss of a yard on that. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
quickly look at the West offense.
You see it right there, and some good size. One of my favorite names, Jet Tepler at center for the Terrors. But Hamas, Velasky, the guys to look for. 2nd and 11 for West. Velasky gets the call, slashes, he hits the hole so fast, gets down to the 45-yard line before he's tripped up there and brought down by Alex Hanneman. Again, you're going to hear a lot of these players on both offense and defense tonight. A lot of two-way players for each of these teams. And if you're a coach, well, you want to get everybody to play, but you want your best athletes on the field too.
Oh, definitely, too. You want to put them where you can succeed. That's why you do see players going both ways. You love to have just one player just play offense and defense, but as you mentioned, the size of the roster, you're kind of forced to have to do this as well.
Yeah, and Hanneman is in for Aaron Kohlberg, who got hurt on the opening kickoff. Hamas set to work. Takes a quick, now he's under pressure, escapes, running to his left, looking for some place to go, still under pressure, now turns it upfield, tries to step inside, gets down to the 40, finally close to first down yardage, just a bit short, before he's brought down by Charlie Wendland and also Hanneman.
Great job by him knowing that you didn't have to throw because you have players running down all over you, and he found a way just to at least find a couple yards, didn't get the first down, but did not throw the ball away and just did his best to make this a convertible 4th down. And we know you have a running back that can easily get the short yardage situation.
Yep, 4th and a yard. Ball at the Patriots' 39-yard line. East leads 7-0. Hamas getting set. Low snap, hands off to Velasky, just powers straight ahead behind that line, and that's where having a bigger offensive line comes in handy. Get the leverage and the size and push forward, get the first down to about the 36.5-yard line as the clock continues to run, heading toward the 4-minute mark here in the opening quarter.
And that play almost worked out perfectly for the Patriots, Dick. The edge rushers were closing in fast, especially with the snap that was low. Took a half second to be able to adjust and make the handoff to Velasky, and just not enough because that offensive line had enough push in the middle.
Yeah, and East playing that 5-man front to the 5-2 base that they run means if you get that push off the line, you don't have a lot of linebackers to fill in those holes. 1st and 10, Velasky off to the right side of Jack Hamas. Now in motion, 4 possible receivers off to the right side. Quick swing pass. Velasky's there and gets cut down. Tay Derrico is right there, and it's going to be a loss of a couple. He read that one immediately and came up the 5'10", 165-pound junior. Did not have any tackles last week against Hortonville. Boy, he got one there.
Oh, and it was a big tackle, too, enough where it gets you motivated. You get a little addicted to making those tackles. You want a couple more because you realize you found something either in film or something that just that caught his eye. Did a great job on reading that.
Yeah, interesting formation here. You've got 3 receivers. The short side of the field is the right side. You've got 3 receivers packed into that side. Velasky is also on the right side of Hamas. 1 receiver off to the left, wide out there. Hamas now rolling out to his right, taking a look across the field, throws it across, and it's almost picked off. Little bit late identifying, getting over there was Caleb Gray, dropping back from his edge position.
Well, you're seeing the Patriot players, too. They're playing with a little bit more energy after witnessing the big tackle because they want to make the next big play on this defensive stretch.
Yeah, and Meyer was open a little bit, but by the time Hamas recognized it, it's something that you find often in high school quarterbacks. They see the window, and then they look at the window, and then the window closes after they throw it. 3rd down 13 for the Terrors. They're down 7-0. Fewer than 3 minutes left in this opening quarter. Bobbled snap. Hamas trying to turn the corner, spins around, gets inside, escapes a couple tackles, gets down to the 33-yard line before he's finally spun down. Tyler Mattel is in there to make the stop.
Just able to bounce off bodies and continuing to move forward. If you're going to run like that, if you just keep going the right direction, you're making a smart play.
Hamas a big guy, too. 6'1", 160 pounds. Junior quarterback now sitting here with a 4th and 7. Tucks the towel back in the waistband. 3 receivers off to the right side for the Terrors. Got a player jumping, too, for East. Looks like Josh Parks got a little rambunctious there and stepped forward. And that'll help out the Terrors a lot. We'll now make it a 4th and about 2.
And we have a feeling what this play will be. You have to go to your power back in this situation and trust that offensive line. But a chance now for this Patriots defense to make a big play where, yeah, this drive is starting to get out of hand, but you can find a way to forget everything that happened on this play.
Vlasky lines up to the left of Hamas. Snap, and yep, Vlasky gets it. He powers straight ahead, has some running room inside the 20, down to about the 15-yard line. Grabs that first down, and again, he gets into the hole and has that little stutter step, so you can't get a clean shot at him. Gets it all the way down to the 15-yard line.
And that's why it's so huge. You get that penetration early on, and you have to make sure you put a body on him, because if you let him make that step, he can take off.
And lining up about 4 or 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, he gets a running start, can make that great little stutter step in the hole. 1st and 10 for the Terrors. Waning minutes of the first quarter. Patriots lead this one 7-0. They've only had the ball for 2 plays. That's all they needed. And we have a flag. Violation of some sort here. Illegal procedure against the Terrors. Somebody may have lined up. They may not have had 4 guys in the backfield.
Yeah, because they were pointing towards Vlasky. I'm not sure where he lined up was the correct spot.
Yeah, and sometimes, the guys will kind of take that step off too, and suddenly you have 8 guys on the line of scrimmage instead of 7. Snap goes back to Hamas now on a 1st and 15 under a rush. We've got a flag on the play, probably holding Hamas on the move. He's going to be brought down around the 13-yard line. Pulled down there by Brett Dietzler, but it's going to be holding against the Terrors, who had a nice drive going, but been their own worst enemy here on the last 2 plays.
And that's why if you're the Patriot defense, you have to look at this and go, yeah, you can have the bend, but don't break defense, because granted, there's been stretches. They've got multiple 4th downs. It can hurt your energy on that drive, but little plays like this, a holding, gets you a situation where if you 3rd and long, take your opportunity and maybe come up with another interception.
So now you've got a 1st and 32, because remember, it's from the spot of the foul that it's backed up. So that suddenly that becomes a massive penalty. Ball all the way back to the 37-yard line. They have to get to the Patriot 5 for a 1st down. Hamas trying to turn the corner, stutter steps, trying to bring it back inside, won't do so. Down to the 35 before the Patriots close in.
And that situation, Dick, makes you feel that you can run blitzes if you're the Patriots. Take a chance, because you have to get to the 5-yard line. That opens your whole playbook for the defense.
Final half minute of the first quarter. Probably time for one more play. Hamas looks toward the sidelines.
You almost wonder if you were allowed to take the chance right now with a big run by Vlasky and see what that can bring you on 3rd down. If you can get 3rd and 12, 3rd and 10, you call that a successful run.
And Vlasky now in motion toward the right side. Hamas takes a look, a little flare out to Vlasky. They're going to try to get him into the open field. He's going to be run down from behind. Byrne is there. Gets some help down around the 28-yard line. We saw Dietzler in there, and that will end the first quarter. Patriots lead this one from Appleton East 7-0 over Appleton West, and you're watching the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
The projects we construct afford us the opportunity to help those in need in more ways than one. And the momentum we create as a team allows us to make an impact greater than any one of us can achieve on our own. We are part of the community. We are where we live. We are Myron Construction.
Getting set for the second quarter, 7-0 lead. Dick Napinski, Zach Morris with you, Gary Brulewski on the camera tonight. That we appreciate bringing you the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
Well, Dick, let's be happy. Right now at Ashwaubenon, they are now in their 2nd lightning delay as the storm from Stevens Point earlier has drifted north. So we're good here. That's what matters. But Kimberly is up 14-0 with 2:34 left in the first quarter.
You know, and then we talked about it before we went on the air tonight. August football for high school. It just seems like every year you've got the 3 weeks heading into Labor Day weekend that you have games for high school now, and it always seems that one of those weekends get involved with some thunderstorm fronts, storm fronts moving through. A lot of games around the state have been delayed until tomorrow or even Monday because of the inclement weather coming in. So
That was my fear when I heard some schools delay until tomorrow. I'm like, oh, I hope we have a chance to get our game in tonight.
Well, we do, and we hope the weather holds for another 3 quarters. And for the Terrors, they have a 3rd down and about 24. They have to get down to the 5-yard line at the 29 right now. Hamas dropping back. He's under some pressure, steps inside the rush. Now looks downfield, and it's caught around the 17-yard line, right on the edge. It looked like Mikhail Harmison who pulled that one in. Instantly knocked out of bounds by the Patriots. It'll leave a 4th and 13. They'll be lining up for a potential field goal. That'll be Jared Marvin. And to set it down, it will be a 35-yard attempt.
The interesting situation early on in the season is you haven't seen any game footage of the kickers. You can only go off what the coaches tell you and their confidence.
Kick is away, and it's on. It's kind of a sideways one, but it goes through. So Appleton West on the board on the 35-yard field goal by Jared Marvin makes it 7-3 Appleton East, and we'll take a break here on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
We asked Fox Communities Credit Union members, what does happiness look like to you? We found out that happiness looks a little different for everyone. For some, it's the biggest days. For others, it's the smallest celebrations. From the brightest smiles to the greatest adventures, we give our members peace of mind so that they can enjoy the sweetest moments in life. Whatever your vision of happiness looks like, Fox is here to help you make life happen.
Fox Communities Credit Union.
7-3, the Patriots lead this one, but a 35-yard field goal. Impressive kick. It didn't win any style points. It was kind of a sideways spinning kick, but it got through the goalpost. That's all that matters.
In high school, if it gets through the goalpost, as you mentioned, Dick, that's all you just need. Because it is a tough thing, especially teams, they just don't kick field goals, and some will just not kick extra points because how difficult it is to find a trusty kicker.
Well, kicker, holder, snapper, all of those things. Marvin getting set to kick away. Tyler Mattel, Ryan Mesa back around the 10-yard line. Kind of a drooping kick. It'll be picked up by Mesa. Hands off to Mattel at the 14. Looking for some place to go. He's going to be wound up around and a fumble on the play near the 17, and it's covered by Appleton West. Mattel got stood up and then spun around, lost the football. And give credit on that one. Looks like Noah DeLue fell on the football at the 16-yard line of the Patriots. And I was just thinking, the Patriots have run 2 offensive plays so far, scored a touchdown, lead the game, and they were going to start their first official series after a kick, but never had that chance, and the Terrors are right back on offense.
Well, Dick, being a fan of the Green Bay Packers, you're always scared on special teams when you're seeing handoffs reverse and situations where you're twisting and turning on kick returns. That second turn he made was just not a great situation to keep that ball.
Emerson is a fumble, and Vilafsky will fall on the football back at the 24. So we've seen a few errors here.
And that's a big play for the Patriots, knowing that they have a kicker if they're able to get close enough. And from what we saw in that kick, any yards further back from that point, you're better off taking right now, penalty or fumble.
Loss of 7 on that play, back to the 24. And again, if you look at the field, remember the college hash marks are a little bit inside the high school hash marks. So you've got the marking, little dashes across the yard lines that are the high school hash marks. Hamas drops back, looking for some place to go. Goes across the middle. He's got Meyer there around the 10-yard line. Brought down by Derrico. He'll be about 2 yards short of the first down, but nice crossing pattern by Chris Meyer. He was a second-team all-conference player last year.
Oh, yes, during spring football, we had a lot of Appleton West games, and Meyer is a great route runner, and that's where he knows to make that perfect cut, and that's why it was a perfect situation for that nice throw for a first down, well, almost a first down.
Kind of in that line of the Julian Edelman type player, the Randall Cobb player. Not that big, but boy, he can find the opening.
And that's what it is. You have someone to trust on in those key situations.
3rd down, 3 to go. Hamas. Valafsky gets the call, tries to cut inside, does so. He's got the first down inside the 5-yard line before he's finally wound down at the 4.
Brought down by Sam Austin.
Sam Austin brings him down. But it'll be a 1st and goal for the Terrors. 5 minutes gone in this, I should say 2 minutes gone in this second quarter.
Golden opportunity for the Terrors after that kickoff return fumble.
Valafsky's get the calls again, but this time he is overturned. Derrico with a good stop coming up from the cornerback position. Stood his ground, didn't go for the little juke move, and just hung in there and went right through the belt buckle.
2nd and goal at the 5.
Loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd and goal. 5-yard line for the Terrors. Here in the beautiful Banta Bowl on the campus of Lawrence University. Hope you can get out here for a game sometime this fall when the colors turn and so forth. It's a gorgeous place to watch football. Hamas set to work. 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line. Another bad snap. Hamas will take it himself. Cut inside into the end zone. Touchdown. 8:58 left in the first half, and Appleton West has taken the lead. And Hamas scoring, and he scored last week against Manitowoc on a botched handoff, and then a bad snap that rolled back to Jack Hamas, picks up this time, runs 5 yards for the TD.
He was in a grateful situation because that ball was rolling in the direct area he was running to. So when you have that little momentum, it's a lot easier than trying to have that little jab step and go the other way.
Marvin with the kick, that's up, and it's good. And the Terrors have taken a 10-7 lead here at the Banta Bowl over the Appleton East Patriots, and we'll take a break as well here on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
Wisconsin Savings Bank.
How fast this entire game changes. Dick Napinski, Zach Morris with you from the Banta Bowl. We're about to see Appleton East get a kickoff, doing a nice job. They actually had Appleton West sitting with 35 yards to go to get a first down, and West managed to get a field goal out of that, and the complete game flipped around that quickly.
It's still a good situation for the Patriots, only down by 3.
Short kick coming up is one of the up men, scooping that up and running it forward. Connor Schultz, he'll bring it all the way up on the short kick out to about the 43-yard line. So Connor Schultz, an offensive lineman, getting the glory position, a senior getting to return a kickoff, and does a nice job of it. Mark it just past the 43, and that's where the Patriots will start.
So much as the Terrors have scored 10 straight points and at a pretty fast rate from each other, you look at it right now for the Patriots, you had a really good play from Nelson, a big run, so we haven't really got to see this full offense for the Patriots that we'll get to see right now.
Setting up once again are the Patriots. Handoff goes straight ahead and carrying that out to about the 48-yard line. With the carry is Tay Putzlacher, his first carry. Putzlacher, junior tailback. Had not seen him take any carries thus far, so we're going to see some different bodies in there tonight. 2nd and 5 for the Patriots. Going to set up. This time, Nelson will turn the corner, slips a little bit as he does. That may cost him the first down. He's going to be about a half yard short. Had the right idea. And we have to remember, it is a humid evening. We've seen it on some of the snaps tonight, Zach, and certainly on that time as Nelson lost his footing trying to turn the corner to the left.
Yeah, and rain earlier during the lightning delay, so we don't know how much that takes an effect too.
So coming out wide to the left side, Mason Hammersley. Tight formation. Nelson on a 3rd and 1. Man in motion. They hand off straight ahead and being stacked up. Putzlacher gets stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. There was no opening there whatsoever. Saw Diego Chavez in there along with a host of Terrors. And it'll be 4th and 1 at the Terror 48-yard line. West leading this one 10-7. Quickly coming to the line, Chase Nelson. And Nelson will take it straight ahead. He'll get the first down, just takes the snap and piles forward. Sometimes that's the best thing you can do, just find a slot and try to fall forward for a yard or two. And
the nice thing was he really didn't get low. He actually went high and just used his speed to get the first initial yards and fell for a couple more.
Yeah, like a man trying to get through a narrow doorway, kind of turned sideways, and there you were.
You do whatever you have to do to get that first down and keep this drive going.
1st and 10 for the Patriots. Same Bedolla off to the left side. Nelson getting set for the snap. Man in motion. Putzlacher gets it. He's going to be taken down right away. Nice play by Brandon Dodge. Came up from his linebacker position. Knocked down Putzlacher after a gain of 1.
Well, these linebackers right now for the Terrors are quick right when that ball is snapped and able to locate the ball carrier. And you probably have to see a little bit more options the quarterback keeps right now for the East Patriots until something breaks down defensively.
Yeah, West playing generally a 3-4 type set. They like to bring their linebackers up on the edge to give it the impression of a 5-2. 2nd and 9 for East. Man in motion once again, and there's a tie up in the backfield. Nelson is not going to get away. Putzlacher and Nelson got wrapped up right on the handoff. It was the old Reggie White thing, just collect them all and sort them out till you find who has the football.
Well, there's a situation where they're meeting each other in the backfield. You're already having pressure from the defense, and that's going to cause more confusion and maybe a missed handoff to happen in the next few plays until they can get that rush just away from the quarterback exchange.
Yeah, and we mentioned before, East does not have a big offensive line. You have to really rely on leverage and finesse to get your blocks and open up some gaps. But that time, West just pounded forward, now 3rd and a long 11. And in motion, the handoff goes straight ahead and hit hard at about the 45-yard line. Mattel got that one, but could not go anywhere. Down to the 44, and it'll be a 4th and 9. Tough series here. A couple quick first downs for East, but boy, this one stalled out with coming down to the 4.5-minute mark. Chase Schultz comes out to the left side. East going for it. Hanneman in motion now, stops, sets up, and will reset. Have to start to move. Referees signaling that the clock's about to run out. Motion coming the other way. And we're going to have a timeout called by East. There's a lot of confusion there, not getting what they wanted to see. So quick timeout here, 4:20 left in the second quarter, 10-7 West. You're watching the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
A century is made up of minutes, but more importantly, of moments. Moments of hard work, dedication, challenges, and triumphs. From Myron Construction, the past 100 years were built by the steady hands of tradespeople who laid a strong foundation, and continues to thrive because of our passionate team members. As we close this significant chapter of our history, our sights are set on what we will accomplish together in the years to come, because together we'll continue building excellence.
It's going to be a 4th and 9 for the Appleton East Patriots here at the Banta Bowl. They trailed 10-7 to the West Terrors, who put together 10 quick points here early in the second period. Dick Napinski, Zach Morris with you. And let's see what East comes out with. Looks like they may be punting this one away. No, Nelson's coming out at quarterback, and so looks like they're going to give it a try.
Interesting situation where they took all the time they could to find the right connection and what they saw and what they will change.
And now Appleton West wants a timeout setting up. So we get to all stand around a little bit more.
You almost wonder if Coach Johnson just noticed something that might have been a little bit different coming out of that timeout. I mean, this is the big play that can change the game. You want to, if you're the Patriots, you want to be able to get this first down, get some points on the board to get this back in your favor. And if you're the Terrors, you just want that ball back on offense.
Yeah, with 4:20, you've got a lot of time to try to put something together. Saw a little bit of confusion in the line. Eli Lemke had lined up on the right side, then quickly shifted across to the left. And then Mitch Johnson, you're right, from the west sideline said, we're not recognizing this out of East, so let's call a timeout, make sure we've got our defense together.
Well, we've seen plays where big 4th and 3rd downs, you get a lot of yards if that you have one defensive player not paying attention or unsure where to go. It's that little breakdown the offense is just trying to find.
Yeah, and this is the field position, too. You can reach into the trick bucket and try to find a little something as well. And
well, if it fails, it fails, and you still have your defense that has still been putting up a good chance for stops, just unable to get that key 4th down stop.
This is usually a point you hear some high school football coach go, watch the screen, watch the pass, watch everything. And Hanneman in motion. Flag on the play. Quick pass goes down the middle. It's slapped away. Reaching in there is Jared Marvin and knocking the pass down. The motion penalty on the Patriots. Let's see now if it was before the snap. No, it looks like they're going to decline it and hand the ball over.
There was a weird situation. I wasn't sure if that was done correctly. We saw number 10 crisscrossing, and I think that's what probably drew the penalty, and it's a great job of the defensive back to knock that down.
Yeah, Sam Austin was out there. He had a little bit of an opening, but Marvin quickly covering up that gap and slapping the ball down. So West takes over. They've got a 10-7 lead here with 4:15 left in the first half. Jack Hammes will step back in at quarterback. Ben Belewski. Belewski lined up toward the right side, and he'll get the ball straight ahead. Breaks the tackle, gets out past the 50-yard line, steps into Patriot territory at the 48. Caleb Gray finally comes from his defensive end slot and knocks him down. Clock continuing to run just inside 4 minutes. It'll be a 2nd and 3 for the Terrors. One receiver out to the left side. Quick pass goes wide open down the field, and gathering it in is Matthew Vanderputten. Around the 33-yard line, he was wide open. You saw that defense collapse, Zach, trying to make sure Belewski didn't get any running room, and it left wide open out in the flat.
Well, especially being 2nd and short, a great job to have a situation where you can throw deep, and great job by Vanderputten just getting in a perfect situation to show his quarterback, hey, I am wide open. You have to throw here, and then making the easy catch.
Yeah, and, Head smarts enough says, okay, I'm not going to do any fancy deke moves or try to run here before I get the football. He just gathered it in, knew he had the first down. 1st and 10, 32-yard line of the Patriots. Hammes this time will hand off to Belewski. He makes a quick stutter step down to the 20, inside the 15. He's going to outrace everybody. Touchdown. 32-yard run for Ben Belewski, and boy, when he gets a chance to accelerate, he is very, very impressive. That time straight up the middle, broke through the gap. With 3:07 left in this first half, and suddenly Appleton West has taken command.
Backers left the box, and it was a perfect opportunity to get a quick run by Belewski.
Jared Marvin on to try the extra point. Snap and hold is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. Suddenly it's 17-7, Appleton West leading the Patriots of Appleton East as we take a break here on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
As our students become young adults and follow their own unique paths, they all still have one thing in common. the need for banking to keep up with the pace of their lives. Our online account opening and integrated mobile services are designed with that in mind. And a $200 bonus for open a qualifying new checking account makes East Wisconsin Savings Bank perfect for the next step in life.
East Wisconsin Savings Bank.
Terrors have taken command here in the second quarter, now leading 17-7. And putting together in that series of play, we saw Ben Vilevsky at his best. The line gave him that crease. He was able to make the stutter step inside the hole and escape the first round of tacklers. At that point, you just have to chase him down and try to corral him.
And that was led up by a great pass from Hammes to find Vanderpoot, and that's made the defense cover the passing game a little bit more and having less linebackers in that box on that play.
Marvin kicks it away, low line drive. Picked up by Mesa. Mesa around the 28-yard line is going to be tripped up and spun down. Spinning him down, looked like Ethan Lohr getting in on that stop.
On the stop, Diego Chavez.
So the Patriots have about 3 minutes to work with, exactly 3 minutes, in fact, at their own 29-yard line.
Patriots have a 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
And it's Chase Nelson. Nelson takes a look around, now resets. Hanneman started in motion. They've got that funky little motion play. They'll send Hanneman behind the running back and then bring him back to the slot position. Handoff is faked, and Nelson has it. Trying to drive forward. He'll get about a yard before he is simply bulldogged down. Cole Dornfeld in on the stop. He grabbed Nelson right away, just would not let him go.
Well, it's a tough situation right now. We're seeing the Patriots not really willing to throw that much, so they have to figure out how to get this running game going, but just can't get that push in the front of the line, which is causing the issues on all of these handoffs.
Yeah, when you're trying to do some deception, you've got to get somebody to give you a crease in that offensive line. So far, that has not happened. Handoff will go ahead. Mattel is there. He's got some running room. He's got a first down past the 40, out to about the 44, 45-yard line before he's finally brought down. And that time, a nice wall of Patriot blockers just keeping the Terrors away from Mattel.
Well, great job by the offensive line for the Patriots, just being able to not allow that pressure in during the handoff. And you saw what could happen once these running backs get into open space, or just give them a nice running lane.
Yeah, and this is the point where the Patriots, who have not established a passing game so far this year, are a little bit at a disadvantage, moving inside 2 minutes. Mattel gets the handoff. That time he's going to get hit and brought right down at the line of scrimmage. That's Brandon Dodge who stepped in.
Initially had space to run, but it closed fast, and Dodge came out of nowhere.
Yeah, Brandon Dodge came up. He took the lineman with him that time and just ran into Mattel. No gain on the play. The Patriots kind of lucky to get that. Nelson sets up. Mattel the setback, double slot formation. Now Hanneman taking a look. Pass goes down, and it's going to be incomplete in front of the intended receiver as they were aiming for Sam Austin down the sideline. Chase Schultz was trying to get open, and he was tied up with a defensive back around the 35-yard line. It'll be a 3rd and 10. Clock stops with 1:11 left in this second quarter. 17 points for the Terrors here in this second period.
Patriots trying to find something on that quick throw, but just unable to make that connection. And I think we're seeing it's just not developed yet. They're just still working through the passing game this season. And now you just have to find out who's the running back you can rely on to make that quick move and at least try to get 5-8 yards in this play.
Getting set 3rd and 10. Mattel will get hit right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing going there. Timeout wanted by the Terrors. They have an opportunity here with 1:02 left to try to get the ball back, and Patriots will have to kick it away. Second timeout used by the Terrors.
Timeout is charged to
And
the
the
Terrors.
Terrors making their move on defense. I think Devin Farrell was in on that big stop.
Well, it was just an easy knockdown for that player. I mean, it was just a quick get through the line, and it was already done. The play was over before it even really started. Just a tough break for the Patriots, but we've seen their offense. They just have to get that big play to get this offense going again. We saw what Nelson and Martellus had it not too long ago. So find something in the second half, maybe they'll find a weakness at halftime, but there's something you have to try to exploit here, because right now it's just getting difficult anything going offensively for the Patriots.
Yeah, and they started so quickly, too, after that interception. Just 2 plays, hitting it fast. And getting back, Tyler Byrne will be standing back around his own 30-yard line to kick the ball away. Set for the snap, and it's a good one. Byrne gets a kick away. It's not a real long kick, kind of wobbly, and checks up at around the 40-yard line of West, and so they will have 54 seconds to try to get something downfield.
Yeah, great bounce for the Terrors. Get about 5-6 yards their way.
Mentioned Menasha leading Nina right now, 14-7. A.J. Korth rips off an 81-yard touchdown run. But here at the 40-yard line, West will have a chance to get some more points on the board. They put up 17 here in the second quarter. 3 receivers out to the right side. Empty backfield for the quarterback, Jack Hammes. Takes a look in the pocket, now steps forward, looking for someplace to go. See if he's got some running room. And he does. He's going to step out of bounds just across midfield, be enough for a first down at the 49-yard line of East.
And great job by Hammes to go in across the field and still gain out of bounds.
And a nice job recognizing where the lanes were, too, letting the defensive ends rush by him. And East breaking contain there. Can't keep him in the pocket.
Awareness, knowing you only have one timeout, and even if you just missed the first down marker and got hit before you went out, that's huge seconds coming off the clock.
Once again, empty backfield for Hammes. 45.8 left in the second quarter. Quick move, Hammes going toward his left, now trying to run, shuffles it forward, underhand pass to Valevsky. Gets about 9 yards out of it before he's finally corralled down and brought down by East. Player wearing number 19, who is not on our roster. And I believe a timeout taken by Appleton West here with 28.6 seconds left. We'll take a break too. 17-7 West here on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
I'm Adam Landsver, and I am the Chief Lending Officer at Fox Communities Credit Union. Home values have really skyrocketed, and it would just make sense that now would be the time to take a look at your home equity. Having a home equity line in place will always be there for you in case of the rainy day, or you want to start up that business, or purchase that car that you never thought was going to come for sale. To be able to have that security blanket is really critical in someone's life cycle.
Fox Communities Credit Union.
We are back, coming out of a timeout. Now, no timeouts left for the Terrors. There's 28 seconds left in this first half. 17-7 lead for West in the inaugural battle for Nicolet's anchor between these two schools. Hammes, quick pitch goes to the outside. Caught there, moving around and getting away, and finally being brought down was E.J. Holt with the catch, and that's enough for a first down.
Now, he did get the first down, but he did not get tackled out of bounds.
So they'll place the ball and get the chain set, and then starting a quick Spike of the ball by Hamas to stop the clock, and we've got a penalty flag, illegal procedure.
Illegal procedure penalty on the Terrors.
Now that ball looked like it was rolling on the ground before he spiked
there's so
it.
many things that happen in something like that. I saw linemen trying to set up and get set, and that may have been it. They may have had a lineman who was not quite set when they ran that play. But it'll move it 5 yards back to the 35, and now the clock winds. 12 seconds left. They're going to have to move. They're going to have time for one more play here.
You had to go in the end zone here.
Hamas rolling out, being chased around by East, trying to contain it. He's just going to throw it toward the end zone. It'll go up, and it's tapped away. Pass went a long way. Mattel was there defensively to knock it away from the intended receiver. And I believe that might have been Holt down there, but that will finish up the half. 17-7, Appleton West scores 17 points in the second quarter to lead this one at the half. So we will take a break in this one. It's halftime. Both teams will retire to the end zones and discuss some strategy. Quick little wrap-up of the scoring. To start things off, it was J. McGolden running 5 yards for Appleton East, 7:37 left in the first quarter. Badola's kick made it 7-0 Patriots. But then coming back, a field goal, 35 yards by Jared Marvin, made it 7-3. Patriots still led early in the second. But a fumble on the kickoff return. Quickly, Appleton West turning that around. It was Jack Hamas running 5 yards after fielding a bad snap. The kick made it 10-7. And then Ben Valevsky with a 32-yard run with 3:07 left in the half. 17-7 Terrors at the half. And so we'll take a break. A 10-point lead for Appleton West. You're watching the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
The projects we construct afford us the opportunity to help those in need in more ways than one. And the momentum we create as a team allows us to make an impact greater than any one of us can achieve on our own. We are part of the community. We are where we live. We are Myron Construction.
My name is Mike Pastorelli, and I am the auto buying specialist for Fox Communities Credit Union. I just really enjoy helping people and make sure that they get the best bang for their dollar when they walk into a car lot. I've met members at car dealerships and helped them sit down with the salesperson, whatever you need me to do. It's exciting. Buying a new car, getting it home for the first time. They know that they got the most car for the monthly payment that they wanted to spend. We help make life happen.
Fox Communities Credit Union.
We return to the Banta Bowl for high school football. Dick Dupinski, Zach Morris with you this evening for the rivalry between Appleton East, Appleton West, and Appleton West with a 17-point second quarter has taken control of this one, up by 10 now over the Patriots. And as we take a look at these two teams, West got started off kind of slowly. They were running the ball very well, Zach, but then throwing the interception, East took advantage right away. But boy, that second quarter, it's been all terrors so far.
So when you watch, the way I watch a game, Dick, is how the game starts out. You want to see how they looked on that first drive. Is your quarterback able to sling some quick passes and have that great rapport with his receivers early on? Is your running back able to get some big runs because your offensive line just starts out really strong? And because when you start out that way, there's a great chance you're going to continue that throughout the rest of the game, even though if it does end with a turnover on downs or a turnover, because you don't take that away, the fact that you have the momentum from that drive. And yeah, so an interception and a quick touchdown by the Patriots, but because that offensive line looks so strong, they continue to rely on that, and that's basically what has led to most of their points. And then because of the running game, let Hamas have that confidence just because he knew that he can have time to pass because they're worried about the run game.
Yeah, and both of these teams, their passing game is a work in progress right now. We'll just say that because neither team is all that threatening through the air. They have to use it as a diversion in many cases. So it becomes the running game. So it becomes the guys up front in the line to make a difference. And West, in that second quarter, controlled both sides of the football at the line.
And what so far we've seen with the offensive line for the Patriots is a quick run by Nelson. I mean, he just did a great job, great move. But that's basically been it. And because you haven't seen this drive yet where you feel confident that the offensive line's starting to figure out their ground, they know how things are progressing, we just haven't seen that yet. Now, they could find on this drive when they get the kickoff, and this game can change right back into a one-possession game, and that's the hope for if you're a Patriot fan. But right now, if you're the Terrors, you just want to continue to run everything the way you did in the first half.
And we see those adjustments being made right now over there. As we take a look, Mark Kromenacker and his staff trying to say, okay, what do we have to do? We see that people like Brandon Dodge are getting in there and causing havoc on our plays. How can we set up our linemen to have some success in the third quarter after we get the kickoff? That's going to be a big thing, as you mentioned, Zach. That first drive of the third quarter going to be vital for the Patriots.
And the big thing so far that really changed this game was the special teams problem they had with the fumble on the kickoff return, which gave 7 points to the Terrors. That doesn't happen. You're able to just find a way to keep the ball. You're only down by 3 at this point. So far, because you had that blunder on special teams, this is the reason why you're down by 2 possessions.
Taking a look elsewhere around the area, there's some big games. Interesting one tonight. Wrightstown and Xavier playing tonight. That'll be an interesting one to see how that one turns out, because those are 2 very proud programs, had a lot of success through the years. That's one. Of course, we've got Neenah Menasha with that 14-7 lead right now. Some interesting matchups here in the early season so far.
Yeah, and that's with this situation where you can have your non-conference games. You're seeing great matchups that you're just normally not used to, and some that have been your old mainstays that are now non-conference. I mean, even Wrightstown Xavier is a matchup that you normally just wouldn't witness, and now you're seeing a matchup like that. I mean, it's great to see. I mean, we were talking about before, it's strange that Neenah and Menasha are playing. You may be thinking, aren't these the 2 schools that had that long-time rivalry? Yeah, they did, but then it vanished when Menasha went to the big conference, and it was just odd when people saw the schedule this year and that matchup's going on.
Yeah, another interesting one, too, that I would like to attend this one if you're going to a high school football game tonight. West De Pere at Hortonville. West De Pere, a very solid program for a number of years. Hortonville, they're basically, okay, I'm going to call them an FBA school because they are in everything except football. But, so in a growing school, a program that's really emerged over the past couple of years, seeing those 2 teams going after one another in a non-conference setup.
Yeah, and those 2 being former Bay Conference teammates where they were facing each other there, haven't seen each other, so it's basically like, it's ever since Menasha went into the Bay, same reason where Hortonville left the Bay, didn't get to play West De Pere. So now you have these matchups that you're used to about 5 years ago, and now you're finally back to the way it is.
Yeah, another one, too, that's going to be interesting to watch. Fond du Lac at Franklin. Franklin, an outstanding football school for a number of years. Fond du Lac I guess coming into the season, if there's a big bad bully in the Valley this year, you'd have to say the Cardinals are probably it.
And you witnessed a great matchup last week with Appleton North taking Franklin, that coming down right to the wire. So you're seeing great matchups all across the board. As you mentioned, Franklin, where a school you just normally would never see playing local teams.
But we're just about set to go with the second half here. And so 12 minutes up on the clock for the third quarter, waiting for Appleton East to return team to come out. And we'll have a chance here to thank our sponsors. We do appreciate their support of high school athletics and our broadcast. Fox Communities Credit Union, Byron Construction, and East Wisconsin Savings Bank. Thanks to each of them for their support of high school athletics. It'll be Jared Marvin kicking off for the Terrors, kicking toward the north end once again. Sam Austin back to receive, and Tyler Mattel. Austin will get it at about the 12. He'll bring it straight up the field, looking for someplace to go. Tries to cut to his right. Nothing there. Escapes one tackle. Gets out to about the 33-yard line before he is brought down by the kicker, Jared Marvin. So we hope you have a chance to get out and see some high school athletics. Maybe not tonight. Maybe the storm scared you away, but we appreciate you joining on the video stream tonight for this one. For Appleton East, coming back out at quarterback, Chase Nelson. Aaron Jones not in full uniform tonight. So Nelson got the start, had a big run the first play from scrimmage. Handoff will go straight ahead, trying to move forward, getting pushed backwards. Once again is Tay Putzlocker. He gets maybe a yard and a half on that one before he's shoved backwards. And you can see Tay being a little bit tentative, trying to find a hole while the Terrors are crashing that line.
Well, that's what it is. You have to just figure out something to get this running game going at a consistent rate, because you're only down by 10. There's so much left in this game. You know, the second you can find a little crease and maybe something that can change this game around, you're going to be in a great situation.
Two receivers off to the left side. We've got a penalty flag, and I think somebody may have lined up in the neutral zone. Offsides, I believe, against the Terrors. Oh, and you've got an assistant coach on the sideline. Doesn't like that. That's defensive coaches are usually a little fiery anyway. Now will be even more fiery after giving up 5 yards on a penalty. It'll be 2nd and 4. Hanneman in motion, gets the quick pitch, trying to the left, gets the corner, he's out to the 40, looking for the 45, has it, tries to cut back in, gets knocked off his feet, and shoved out of bounds around the 48-yard line.
And that's a way to just get something going, run some stretches. If you can't get anything through the middle, maybe you let things develop on the outside. Trust your tackle, maybe a tight end or two, and your receivers to make those key blocks.
Yeah, Hanneman had 27 yards rushing last week against Hortonville on 5 carries. And that doubled his career total, because last year in the spring season he had 26 yards rushing. 1st and 10 for the Patriots at the 47. Hanneman again in motion. This time they'll go straight ahead. Mattel with a big hole up the middle. He's got his second gear going. Let's see if he can outrace everybody. He will. He uses his speed that he's got from the track team and goes all the way. 53 yards for Appleton East. And as you mentioned early, they're right back in this one.
And that's all it takes is one score, and you already maybe changed some things on the Terrors defense because you went with the stretch and be able to cut right back in using the speed. And that's now the second long run we've witnessed now by the Patriots tonight.
They'll bring Bedola out to try the extra point kick. He's set, snaps down, kick is up, and the kick goes into the forest at the south end of the Banta Bowl. And just that quickly, it's a 3-point game, 17-14. West leading this one on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream, and we'll be right back.
As our students become young adults and follow their own unique paths, they all still have one thing in common: the need for banking to keep up with the pace of their lives. Our online account opening and integrated mobile services are designed with that in mind. And a $200 bonus for opening a qualifying new checking account makes East Wisconsin Savings Bank perfect for the next step in life.
East Wisconsin Savings Bank.
Interesting in a hurry once again. So Appleton East scoring first in each one of the halves here have made it a 17-14 game. And you mentioned the stretch play with Hanneman just before that, Zach, that made a difference, stretched the defense out. They came right back. Give it to your speed guy, Tyler Mattel. And, boy, he just burned it up for 53 yards.
It's a great job by the Patriots offense. Just try to figure out something, and maybe they did for the rest of the game. But now you have to worry about your defense because that first half, we know a running back that can run pretty well we've seen so far in this game in Valesky.
And again, the Patriots missing Aaron Kohlberg from linebacker, hurt on the opening kickoff. Little chip kick goes up, and that one's going to skitter out of bounds around the 20-yard line. We'll move it out to the 35. And we got some collisions, an Appleton West player down. And it was right at the end of the play, too. We saw the guys getting kind of tied up and I think falling awkwardly that time. Nathan Shanahan, he's coming off. Trainer will look at him. So a minute and a half gone in this second half. Lots of excitement in the third quarter to start things off. It's a 17-14 game. Mentioned the inaugural battle for Nicolay Zanker.
Speaking of rivalry games, Nina Menasha tied at 14 at half.
Oh, that one. That one could go to overtime. They just keep walloping on one another down there. On this one, Jack Hammes set for the snap. We'll hand it straight forward. Velasquez escapes the tackle, but he's going to be quickly wrapped up. Mattel is in there. Caleb Gray also helping out.
And this is where if you're the Patriots, you need your defense to step up because this is where you can get yourself maybe back in control in this game.
Let's see if Jack Hammes puts it into Velasquez's stomach, then pulls it back and turns the corner himself from his quarterback position.
He has been successful throughout this game.
Dropping straight back, Hammes takes a look, fires it out, and it's caught right at the sidelines. Almost dropped. I believe that's Harmison. It is. Harmison steps out of bounds. Just short of a first down, and I think McHale could have had a chance to get the first down, but you saw the ball slip down around his thigh pad. He had to re-corral it.
It did a great job to secure it. Normally, so many times we've seen that ball bounce off your body and get picked off or just out of bounds, but a great job just holding on to it and making a manageable third down, and a great job by Hammes. I don't think there were any expectations of that play being a pass by the Patriots.
Yeah, Harbison has some size out there at receiver. It's a matter of getting in sync. It's 3rd and 1. Tight formation on the defensive line, 6-man front. Valesky has it. He's going to be corralled, but he'll carry a defender down to the 49-yard line to get the first down.
We know the Terrors, their goal in this game is to have those third and shorts or 4th and short because this is the lineup they want to go into. And if you're the Patriots, you have to win second down. That's the big key of this second half.
1st and 10 for the Terrors. Just past their own 49-yard line. 2.5 minutes into this third quarter. Tight 5-man front. Quick swing pass going out to the outside. Scooped up there around the 48. Some running room around the corner. That's Mason Rake taking it all the way down to the 38-yard line. Man in motion came out, got the swing pass. And it'll be another first down, this time down to the 38-yard line of the Patriots. So a little wrinkle that time we hadn't seen before out of the Terrors. Brandon Dodge will come into the lineup for West. Jack Hammes last week against Manitowoc had a nice passing night percentage-wise, 8 of 11. But only 52 yards and did throw a couple of picks. He has one tonight. 1st and 10 at the Patriots 38. Bad snap. Hammes gets it, manages to escape a couple of guys, and he'll pick up some yardage.
And that's how the first time tonight, Dick, we've seen that ball just bounce to Hammes, and he just knows where to go with that just to get positive yardage.
Yeah, he ran away that time from Caleb Gray, who was closing in quickly and picked up almost 5 yards. Matthew Vanderputten Comes out to the left side. Dodges the up back. Now in motion is Chris Meyer. Hammes takes a look, looks, takes the corner himself. He gets tripped up inside the 30, very close to first down yardage. Caleb Gray over there on the stop. We're going to mark it, maybe a half yard short. Just before the 29-yard line. But the Terrors putting together a nice drive here midway through this third quarter. They lead 17-14.
And winning second down, and this is what keeps their drives going.
This time Hammes takes a look around. Junior ready for the snap. Another low snap, but Vilevsky gets it. He'll crash forward. I think he's got enough for the first down around the 28. Let's see where they mark it, though. The near side referee has it around the 28-yard line. Far side has it much closer to the first down marker. And they set it down. Mason Rake hasn't figured out. He's pointing first down already for the Terrors.
Well, it looks like they want to take a second look at this.
It is close. Again, the spot where they have it ended up being rather tight, as you mentioned, Zach. So the chains will come out. We get to see the chain crew for the first time tonight. Hopefully they stretched before they head out there.
Well, that delay, you never know.
Don't want to rip up a hamstring. It's going to be fourth down, a couple inches short.
Well, I have a feeling what's going to happen on this play, and the question is, can the Patriots stop Vilevsky? That's going to be what dictates this game.
Yeah, and the tough part of stopping him is you get in the hole and you're ready to make the hit, and then he has that little wiggle inside the hole that makes him tough to wrap up. Go, 4th and inches, handoff. Yep, Vilevsky takes a step to the right side. He's got enough, trying to escape the tackles. Finally rammed down around the 19, and we're going to have a late flag. I don't know if somebody got in a face mask as part of that or what, but a couple flags came flying in. Three Patriots were there trying to corral him. Personal foul at the end, and that's going to add some yardage for the Terrors. Boy, if you're the Patriots D, you don't need that.
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple players closing in after the play was over, which he just didn't really need to. Again, he was breaking tackles, but enough for a penalty. Well, it appears they're saying also one on West.
All right, because the referee had pointed toward east first.
So maybe it was not east, it was just west.
West, somebody coming in a little late. Wow. And it's a dead ball foul, so let's see if they mark it as a first down. Because I believe it will be the first down.
It should still be
a dead ball foul.
Correct. It just pushes the ball a little further down because he got the first down. So I think it was the extra hits that Vilevsky was taking. You might have had a lineman trying to take care and
he was helping.
Help his running back, but
and it ended up you weren't helping. Another low snap. Vilevsky gets it. This time he's going to be snowed under. A big push right up the middle. Danny Jaquez. And Byrne also in there. It's just the middle of the line, just pushed right over the center. And you never had a chance for Vilevsky to make any kind of move that time.
Oh,
he
definitely.
do what he does best.
And that's how you want to defend him. And they've done that a couple times throughout this game. So the question is, can they win second down? I mean, that has been the difference. And if they're able to do that, there is a situation that they can really get back in this game.
Three receivers to the right side for the Terrors. Hammes taking a look that way, waiting for the snap. Instead, we'll hand up straight ahead. And Vilevsky, nothing once again. Caleb Gray stepping in to make the stop. Jaquez also in there. So a couple nice stops by the middle of that Patriot defensive line.
And when we've seen a stop by Vilevsky, you have your outside rushers closing in on him, and that's what they did again. And this is a situation now where you're 3rd and 14. What will the Terrors do? We've seen their passing attack, and we've seen Hamas maybe just try to run and slide and do whatever he can to get near that first down marker.
Yeah, he's mobile enough that he can elude defensive linemen. Four-man front. Good protection. Now Hamas trying to get to his right. He escapes one man. Coming up, long pass going down, setting up, and it goes over the head of everybody. Mesa was there on the defense.
Incomplete, fourth down.
And it looked like Mason Rake was the guy who was the intended receiver. He was down around the 5-yard line.
Well covered and a great overthrow for the Terrors, because if you would have thrown any closer, it could have been a possibility for another turnover. So doing well. So you're going to take that and you'll punt this one away, knowing that your offense was still pretty good on that drive. What really slowed this down was the personal foul.
Yeah, Chris Meyer standing back at his own 49, waiting for the snap. Terrors haven't punted so far tonight, so there's a little bit of confusion about who's exactly on the punt team. Meyer gets the snap, kicks it away. That's a line kick. If he was trying to check it up before the end zone, didn't quite work out for him. Goes into the end zone. 5:08 left in the third quarter. 17-14, Appleton West leading. We'll take a quick break here on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
The projects we construct afford us the opportunity to help those in need in more ways than one. And the momentum we create as a team allows us to make an impact greater than any one of us can achieve on our own. We are part of the community. We are where we live. We are Myron Construction.
And we're back just in time to see a penalty flag fly.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything, so.
No, illegal procedure against the Patriots on that first play. 17-14, Dick Napinski, Zach Morris with you. Gary Burlowski on camera tonight here at the Banta Bowl.
So looking at our Facebook live stream, Dick, in our comments, people try to find scores around the state. And you do have to remember, and it was brought up by Hank on the stream, that a lot of games are now in lightning delays.
Yeah,
So
they are. Yeah.
it's hard to tell where games are in the process. The way that you look, the second quarter, what's going on? Oh, delay.
Quick pitch out to Hanneman trying to find the corner. He does for a couple of yards, but finally upended around the 17-yard line on that 1st and 15 play. So it'll be 2nd and 13 for the Patriots. And you'd like to see what the Patriots are doing there, Zach. Stretching the defense out a little bit. It worked very well for them on their previous possession.
Well, that's the game of the sport. You're just trying to find that one break, and you don't want to overuse it, but you need to keep it because, hey, it worked. We can get another big run again, and being able to get the ball back down by 3, it's hard not to have that be a main part of your offense.
Final third of the third quarter. Hanneman again in motion. This time they're going to hand off. Mattel has it, moves forward, only gets about 3 or 4 yards on that play.
Now it's interesting if you're the Patriots. Now you're in the situation where you want to play field position, because when you're down by 10, now you just want to score any way you can, but now you're only down by 3. It changes your whole philosophy going into the fourth quarter.
Ball resting right about the 20-yard line.
And maybe a reason we won't see much of a risk on this down.
Again, Hanneman in motion. Fake pitch. Nelson looking, now in trouble, will run forward. It gets out. Fumble on the play. Ball's loose on the ground about the 22. Let's see who has it. I think East may have fallen on it first. A couple of the linemen were right there.
Well, the East player pointed that they had the ball, so I always trust the first player, right?
Yeah. Well, you get there and you try to sell it. That's the first thing. Looks like Alex Cook fell on the football for East.
And that's a huge play now for East, because if West gets that, they ride that momentum and possibly put up a touchdown, and you're back in that situation at halftime. Yep. That could be a game-saving fumble recovery by the Patriots.
Yep, always follow the play. Coaches tell you, follow the play. Something may happen that you'll be involved in. Tyler Burns standing back around his own 8-yard line waiting for the snap. It's a good one. Burns' kick is a wobbler. Comes down, though, around the 48-yard line, being pursued. And finally scooped up there. Boy, there was a Terror blocker who was very close to having the football hit his foot. But instead, Appleton East downs it.
Well, when they say follow the play, if you're the blocker, you don't want to be following the ball in that situation.
That's right. And he was turned around facing the other way after the ball hit. And usually that's the return man just saying, get away from it. Here it is. Get away from it.
Yeah,
just go any
I don't
direction.
know if there was much communication down the field, but luckily for the Terrors that he just wasn't that close to get the ball for a fumble.
2:44 left, third quarter. Terrors take it back over. Jack Hammis, that quarterback, 3 receivers off to the right side. He takes a look, fires out quickly, and it's caught around the 48-yard line. Looks like Mason Rake grabbed that one again, steps out of bounds at the 47 of the Patriots, a gain of 8.
We're almost starting to see this passing game start to evolve now for the Terrors. It was like this game is what they needed to get this offensive passing attack rolling, and we've seen some great throws from Hammis.
Yep, and I believe the Terrors have Stevens Point next week, take on the Panthers. 2nd and 2. Hammis taking a look, trying to turn the corner, has some running room, gets the first down and more down to the 40-yard line before he's pulled down. Zach Carpenter in on the stop. The whistle blew. Clock is stopped. Let's see what we have here. And got the coach coming out to ask what exactly is going on here. Do they have... Oh, they're bringing both coaches out. I think things might have been getting a little chippy out there. And they want to tell the coaches, okay, that's enough of that.
Well, I'm seeing some reports now that the Menasha-Neenah game is postponed to tomorrow at noon.
Oh, so there may be some weather coming in.
And so I think we're going to see... I think you're probably going to see a decision here. And looking at the radar, I have to go around my phone, which is I use the WBAY weather app. Always a great place to look at. There is a huge cluster on the way. It's in the Hortonville, New London area, and we're going to be in a situation where it's going to be a long wait. And the question is if this is a situation that schools want to hold up.
Okay. Well, the coaches are meeting at midfield.
And I wonder if this is where the decision is. Do you want to wait or be in the situation if you want to hold up? Yeah. It's always a tough situation, too, because when you have schools where you're further away, too. I mean, when you're in a situation where Appleton East, Appleton West, you're not that far, so that's where you look at possibly playing the next day. But if you're in a situation where, like last week, if you had Franklin against Appleton North, are you in the situation that you want to have a long drive again?
We've got the athletic directors out there, Jim McClowry, Tim Zacco out there for each school as well, along with the head coaches.
Now, I don't know what the rule is, but I know there's situations where it depends when that startup time would be.
Yeah, when they'd want to do it. I mean, you have basically options here. You can wait out the storm. You can postpone and finish the game at a later date, or you can call it right here. And that's...
Ooh, that'd be a tough sell trying to call it here.
Yeah, 17-14 game. You know, if this is a 20-point ball game at this point, it's a whole different decision-making process. But now the officials joined the group there.
And this is interesting where right now I don't know if there were close thunder strikes or not, because obviously none of the fans evacuated.
Right,
so,
you know, and so the players are probably going, hey, we've lost 4 plays here.
But it's the fear of what is coming.
Yeah.
And we've already seen Neenah and Menasha just make the big jump.
Yeah. And we talked about this earlier in the game, Zach. You know, August football, this is the time of year where you do have these kind of weather fronts coming through.
Well, it is interesting. Think of the last couple of seasons we've been pretty lucky, at least in northeastern Wisconsin. Now, the rest of the state, that's a different story.
Right.
There, as you mentioned, those stories are true.
Yeah.
But far as the northeastern part of the state, it has been relatively good. We've had lightning delays,
Right.
but you're able to regroup shortly, 40-hour, maybe hour and a half after that. So this is a different situation where it's just preparing what's to come.
So a discussion is ensued. So we've got athletic directors, coaches, referees all out at midfield.
And I'm sure the discussion is, where can you play? I mean, it does come down to, are you able to use this facility tomorrow? Do you have to play at Appleton West? Do they have the right combinations made, ready to go?
They're going to be clearing the stadium, we understand? Okay.
Because of lightning, we need everyone to please remove themselves from the bleacher sections. Again, we need you to go away from the bleacher sections.
So lightning calls, we're going to be in a hold here.
We do hope that we can maybe resume the game in about 45 minutes, but however, you do need to...
So we're going to end up taking a break here, Zach, for a little bit. There's lightning in the area, so there will be a break.
So so for those who've been long-term listeners of the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream, we haven't had many of these.
No.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to enter into a weather delay. So due to this, as you mentioned, and I think that you just mentioned too, fans are being asked to leave the bleachers because there is threat of a lightning storm. So now the question is it able to bring the game back and try to resume? So we'll take a break and we'll come back in probably roughly 10 minutes. We'll recap what we've heard from the staff members here and keep you updated on how this is going to play out.
Right, so our score right now with 2:33 left in the third quarter, it's Appleton West 17, Appleton East 14.
Keep checking the app. We'll always be here until you see the stream is gone.
Indeed, Dick Napinski and Zach Morris. We're going to take a break right now, and so hang with us. We'll keep you updated. You're watching the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream.
My name is Mike Pastorelli, and I am the auto buying specialist for Fox Communities Credit Union. I just really enjoy helping people and make sure that they get the best bang for their dollar when they're walking to a car lot. I've met members at car dealerships and helped them sit down with the salesperson, whatever you need me to do. It's exciting. Buying a new car, getting it home for the first time. They know that they got the most car for the monthly payment that they wanted to spend. We help make life happen.
Fox Communities Credit Union.
A century is made up of minutes, but more importantly, of moments. Moments of hard work, dedication, challenges, and triumphs. From Myron Construction, the past 100 years were built by the steady hands of tradespeople who laid a strong foundation, and continues to thrive because of our passionate team members. As we close this significant chapter of our history, our sights are set on what we will accomplish together in the years to come, because together we'll continue building excellence.
As our students become young adults and follow their own unique paths, they all still have one thing in common: the need for banking to keep up with the pace of their lives. Our online account opening and integrated mobile services are designed with that in mind. And a $200 bonus for opening a qualifying new checking account makes East Wisconsin Savings Bank perfect for the next step in life.
East Wisconsin Savings Bank.
We're back at a suddenly soggy Banta Bowl here on the campus of Lawrence University, where 2:33 left in the third quarter. It's Appleton West over Appleton East, 17-14, and that's where it's going to stay until tomorrow morning. Dick Napinski, Zach Morris, Gary Brulowski with you from the Banta Bowl. The weather delay, big hunk of red gunk, I guess is the best way to put it. Behind us, storms coming through, so they have decided to suspend the game until 10 a.m. tomorrow. 10 a.m. tomorrow here at the Banta Bowl. Unfortunately, we're not going to wait around for that to start, Zach, and so you're going to have to come on out to the old ball yard if you want to see it. But 17-14 is our score. Zach had a good competitive game going here. It's a pity the weather gets in the way, but such is life sometimes in August football in Wisconsin.
I think that's the heartbreak, too. It was a packed stadium, too, here at the Banta Bowl. It was for the big trophy game, the anchor. It was very exciting. And then weather to just take it over. And we've had this over in areas, other great matchups that are postponed until tomorrow. And there's just no way around it because there's talks of thunderstorms going into 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. So you have to make the right decision, and that is playing tomorrow morning, which will be 10 a.m. here at the Banta Bowl. So we're not going to be here to broadcast it, but if you are around town, I would suggest stopping by here tomorrow because you're going to have a great end of this game, late third quarter, with West up by 3.
Tell you what, pop on out, get some groceries, gas up the car, go to the farmer's market, come on down to the Banta Bowl, make it a big morning here in downtown Appleton.
But we will be back next Friday.
We will be back next Friday, I believe, at Appleton North we will be. And that'll be the Kaukauna Ghosts in town to take on Appleton North. That should be a fun, competitive game. And so we look forward to that. And again, we'd like to thank our sponsors that brought you tonight's broadcast: Fox Communities Credit Union, Myron Construction, and East Wisconsin Savings Bank. Again, this game suspended, 2:33 left in the third quarter here at the Banta Bowl. Appleton West leading Appleton East 17-14. It'll go back live tomorrow, 10 a.m. Hope if you can stop on down here, come see it. So on behalf of Gary Brulowski on camera doing a fine job, and Zach Morris, I'm Dick Napinski. You've been watching the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream. Good night, everybody.